Are Cuban cigars the best cigars in the world? I'm sure you've probably heard that old saying, the only good cigar is a Cuban cigar. But is that true? And before I can answer that question, let me tell you a couple of things. So the first thing I need to make a point of, I made a video about this before and I'll say it again. Remember, if you live in the United States, Cuban cigars are illegal to have in the United States. That's number one. And because of that, counterfeit is a multi-billion-dollar business, and cigars, Cuban cigars, is also a part of that. It's so elaborate that they can go all the way down to making the box look exactly like the original. It's done in China, even done with lacquer and nice wood, the printing, everything. That's how elaborate the deception is. Now also, you need to understand something else. In the United States, it's been said that 90% of Cuban cigars that are in the United States are fake. And I don't know how true that statement is, but I can tell you there's a lot of people walking around believing that they truly have authentic Cuban cigars, and it's actually fake. And why I can say that, you can go through and look and do the research and figure it out for yourself. But a lot of people will tell you it's even coming from Cuba. Not only in Cuba, in Mexico, when people go on vacation in Dominican Republic, it's also in Central America and in Europe. Some people have found out that their cigar store or registered place that they go to have actually been selling them fake Cubans. In Europe and around the world, Cuban cigars are sold by the Cuban government, and they give their license to only a certain amount of distributions, a certain amount of cigar locations. All the rest do not have it. They probably get it from other distributors and sell it in their store, but they all do not have permission to sell authentic Cuban cigars. It's so elaborate that people are actually in the Cuban factories picking up clippings off the ground, collecting them together, rolling cigars with that added in and calling it authentic Cuban cigars. Be leery, be aware that online, on social media, you will find people saying that they can sell you in America original, authentic Cuban cigars. Buyer beware. I know that there's some out there that are getting it. You can get it from other countries, from a friend of a friend, wherever you think you're getting it from. That's your business. And if you truly have an authentic Cuban cigar, power to you. The number 3 point I need to make, and this is real, I'm trying to make it as fast as I can, is that Cuba has faced a lot of quality problems making the real authentic Cuban cigars. When you get a box of real authentic Cuban cigars, you can look in the box and you will find disparities in the color. What I can say is the quality control is not there like it used to be 10 years or so ago. You'll find that the cigar is not rolled properly. They have a very tight draw. Some have a very loose draw. The color of the cigars don't match the quality. What happened is that Cuba, because of the demand, is trying to pump out as much authentic cigars as possible. And because of that, things have fallen to the wayside. They're having trouble finding real experienced rollers and workers to do the job. They've also suffered from hurricanes, which damaged the crops in the past. So they're not getting as much crops being produced. So they have to put you on the back burner as they pump it out. What's also happening is that Cuban cigars are not being able to be aged like they are in other countries like Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Honduras, all the other non-Cuban cigars. So remember that as well. So when you do get a Cuban cigar, cherish it. So my answer is, if you actually get a Cuban cigar, it is fantastic, but you will have to allow it to age. And there is the difference. As far as it being the best in the world, it's subjective. It all depends. I believe there's a lot of other cigars that can rival Cuban cigars. So I will not say that Cubans are the best. They're damn good, but they're not the best in the world. And that's just my opinion. Best cigar is a cigar that you enjoy the most. This is the way.